But through all of this, the loss of life, the collapse of the Russian economy, protests in the streets, Vladimir Putin remains steely-eyed as ever.
I will never go back on the statement that Russians and Ukrainians are one people, even though a lot of Ukrainians have been threatened and brainwashed. We are fighting with the neo-Nazis. They are using civilians as human shields.
Those comments at a meeting with his Security Council, where he held a moment's silence for Russia's dead. It follows a phone call with the French president, which a French presidential source said contained nothing reassuring. Their description of that call is one of the grimmest I've ever read. Vladimir Putin said he was fighting a neo-Nazi regime and that unless diplomatically Ukraine was disarmed and neutralized, he would continue his military campaign. President Macron told him that this was not a Nazi regime, that he was deluded and not describing reality, and that it would cost his country dearly. The source said that Vladimir Putin intended to take the whole country and that the worst was yet to come.
Holy shit. As he feels increasingly cornered, Vladimir Putin still insists that he will take the whole country of Ukraine and that the worst is yet to come. I cannot imagine what that means. But by the way, it's kind of a contradiction to his whole thesis here. You can't, on one hand, insist that you're liberating the Ukrainian people from Nazis and say, well, once we get there, we're going to kill a bunch more of them. Pick a lane, Vlad. You know, I'm starting to think that this guy might not be all there. So as terrifying as all of that rhetoric is, pundits and politicians alike here in this country have offered quite a range of potential solutions. They range from fully sanctioning the Russian oil and gas industry, which would effectively crash all of Russia's economy overnight, which proponents of that say is kind of the point, that by doing that, they would spark regime change within Russia, that the Russian people would somehow rise up and be able to overthrow Vladimir Putin. Others have suggested a no-fly zone over Ukraine, which, unfortunately, doesn't just mean posting a sign at the entrance and hoping people follow it. You actually have to enforce that with planes and weapons and the like. And Vladimir Putin has made it very clear that he would see that as tantamount to us going to war with Russia. So while all those solutions have been bandied about, one Long Island lass has quite a deception in mind.
Now, you would think that maybe these European countries would get together and they'd be arming the Ukrainians that show that they're willing to fight. You know, if we can see on satellite imagery where the convoy is, I don't know, maybe some smart country, maybe NATO might take some of their fighter jets, or maybe they can use some drone strikes and take out the whole damn convoy. And then nobody takes credit for it. So then Putin won't know who to hit back. Well, he's threatening nuclear weapons. Hannity, you talk about nuclear war. I'm not talking about nuclear war, nor would I support one American boot on the ground here. But at what point is this going to end?
You are a disgrace to our name. I think from now on you should, and I don't say this lightly, have to start spelling your name S-H-A-U-N. I know it's harsh, but your behavior has warranted it. What do you think, he's like not going to hit anybody in retaliation for that? Well, I don't know who did it, and I can't just indiscriminately hit someone. That's against the rules. Thank you so much for supporting the show. If you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Be sure you hit the bell so you'll get notified as soon as our show drops, and you'll never miss any of our videos.